Welcome back to the Movie Man. Today I will show you a 2022 American action and thriller film, The Gray Man. Spoilers ahead. Watch out, and take care. In a Florida state prison in 2003, a man called Fitzroy is visiting a prisoner, telling him his criminal background, having killed a man, makes him perfect for a job in a CIA program called Sierra. Fitzroy adds that he will commute his sentence if he accepts. 18 years later in Bangkok, the prisoner, whose code name is Sierra 6, receives a water gun from the woman he's working with called Agent Miranda. He walks to a room, and gets in using the water gun. Inside, 6 picks out a real gun, all while CIA agents talk to him through an earpiece. A man called Denny, who's the center chief, tells him to eliminate a man who will soon compromise national security. The target arrives, and enters a room 2 floors above 6. As he's ready to shoot, a kid walks up to the suspect, and 6 refuses to shoot since the boy will be hit. Denny repeatedly yells at him to shoot anyway, but 6 ignores him, and Denny gets furious. 6 walks out and turns on the fire alarm, after which he starts attacking the target's bodyguards. Miranda starts helping him take down guards too. The target jumps out of a window, and 6 chases after. Outside, they are trapped in the center of big firework launchers. The suspect tells 6 he is Sierra 4, but 6 doesn't believe him, and so they begin fighting. Soon after, as 6 suddenly stabs 4, 6 asks who hired him and where he was trained to find out if he really is Sierra 4. 4 then answers correctly on all questions. He then tells 6 that Denny is a real crook, and hands him a necklace, begging him to take it, which 6 eventually reluctantly does, and 4 dies. Miranda appears, and 6 explains the target said he was Sierra 4, knowing who he himself was. She replies the target must have had access to intel, but 6 tells her there is no intel about Sierra. Later, Denny's men search for, but don't find the object they are looking for. Denny tells an agent called Suzanne this is why he wanted Sierra made extinct. He calls 6, asking if he has something the target gave him. 6 however ignores him and hangs up. He enters a gaming event, where he takes out a memory stick from the necklace and checks its contents. He leaves, and makes a phone call to Fitzroy who is retired. 6 mentions Denny may be crooked, and asks if 4 had a scar on his right chin, which Fitzroy confirms. 6 says they made him kill 4, who gave him an encrypted drive. Fitzroy says he will contact some people he still knows in the agency, saying they can pick him up at an airfield outside Bangkok. Next, Suzanne is seen talking to Denny in a CIA bathroom, and he tells her they will use Lloyd Hansen to fix this mess. She tells him they shouldn't since Lloyd uses sociopathic methods, but Denny disregards her. Next, Lloyd is seen torturing someone as Denny calls. He tells Lloyd his priority is to find and kill Sierra 6, who has information that could put them both away for a long time. Lloyd asks if 6 and Fitzroy were close, and Denny says they were like father and son. Lloyd then says they will kidnap someone Fitzroy loves. The following day, 6 arrives at the airfield, where they are waiting to pick him up. Next, Lloyd is seen confronting Fitzroy at a funeral. He picks up a photo of Fitzroy's niece, threatening to hurt her and asking where 6 is. Soon after, the men that picked up 6 get a phone call from Fitzroy, who orders them to kill 6. When they attempt to attack him, 6 is prepared for it and counters their attack. He manages to take on 4 guys at the same time. But suddenly, they accidentally shoot a hole in the plane, and the side of the plane is entirely torn away. 2 engines are destroyed by debris, and suddenly the whole plane breaks apart. 6 finds himself falling through the sky as he sees a guy with a parachute. He attacks him, strangles him, and manages to hang on as the parachute opens. After landing, 6 calls Fitzroy, saying he feels betrayed, and Fitzroy reveals they have his niece. 6 swears angrily. Afterwards, Lloyd tells Fitzroy that he is going to put a price on 6's head so high every A-grade wet team in the world will target him. Later on, 6 is seen taking a nap on a train. We see a flashback of a moment 2 years earlier, where Fitzroy and a CIA center chief called Margaret, tells 6 that Fitzroy is raising a niece called Claire. Margaret has made sure Claire has had a normal life, but now someone has leaked Fitzroy's address. They have asked agency security to help them, but for some reason Denny won't provide it. Since Fitzroy is leaving for a mission, They need Six to babysit her. Fitzroy explains Claire was born with a heart condition, and has recently got a pacemaker, having had to be in and out of the hospital. He meets Claire, who says his name is weird, and Six jokingly says 007 was taken. Later outside, Six is searching for his jacket and sees Claire sitting on it. They have a quick friendly conversation before Six goes back to safeguard. That evening, as Six is monitoring the house, Claire calls his name, saying something is wrong, and collapses. Six quickly gets her to the hospital. At the hospital, doctors say it was a programming glitch in her pacemaker, and that she should be fine, adding that the tracker in the pacemaker is working as it should. Claire makes a sign to Six, who is watching over her. A day or so later, Six asks Claire if she's feeling better, and she replies, "It's just another Thursday." She mentions Fitzroy is the closest thing to a family she got, and Six reveals he feels the same way about him. Suddenly, he sees cameras going offline, saying Claire should go to bed. Claire puts on loud music in her room, and Six slowly walks through the building, suddenly hearing something. While the music plays, Six begins fighting an armed man that appears in the building. Claire hears the fighting noises and comes out asking Six if he's okay, seeing a body on the floor. Six replies it's just another Thursday, wishing her a good night, and she slowly returns. Back to the present, Six is arriving in Vienna, picking up a bag somewhere with money and guns. He heads home to a man he offers a lot of money. Six tells him he needs a passport and a serial number for a pacemaker that belongs to Claire Fitzroy. The man says he better go clean himself up while he fixes it. While washing himself, Six notes a burn mark on his wrist, getting flashbacks of a man telling him to cover it up so his mother doesn't see. Next, he writes the pacemaker serial number on his hand. He then stands in front of a camera, but instead of taking a picture, the man pushes a lever that opens a trap door. Six falls in, and immediately tries to shoot the man, but the trapdoor glass is bulletproof. Meanwhile in Berlin, Denny interrogates Melinda, asking if she suspected Six having another agenda besides the mission. She says she didn't because she just met Six for the first time. Denny threatens Melinda, saying her life is over if there's something she's withholding. She says she knows nothing, and adds that he should remove himself from her personal space. Simultaneously, Six is seen picking up tools and starting to work on something. He cuts off an old pipe, takes out gunpowder from bullets, fills the pipe with it, and attaches his pistol on it. Meanwhile, Lloyd is informed that Six has been caught. Just as Denny tells Melinda she's suspended from field duty, he gets a message. Melinda manages to see what it's about, being mirrored in his glasses. Denny leaves, and as soon as he's gone, she also leaves and takes a car. Six destroys another pipe and the compartment fills with water. When Lloyd arrives, they kick in the man's door, and Lloyd shoots him dead. As they get down to the basement, Six has just planted his device on the trapdoor and swam down. Suddenly he detonates his device. He quickly gets up, swiftly attacks the men in the room, but as he takes out the last guy, Lloyd appears and uses pepper spray on him. They have a quick sassy conversation, and then Six drops a grenade. The two run in different directions. Being hurt, Six tries to escape, but Lloyd stops him again. However, suddenly Lloyd is shot with a tranquilizer, and Melinda appears from nowhere. She points a gun at Six and leads him to her car, but refusing to get into the trunk, she shoots him with a tranquilizer too. Sometime later in Croatia, Lloyd arrives in a helicopter with Fitzroy. Suzanne appears angry saying he can't kidnap CIA agents and their families, but Lloyd just replies he will do whatever he wants to finish his mission. Fitzroy is seen being let into the room with Claire, and she hugs him. Six wakes up in Melinda's car, and she is angry since Denny thinks she's working with him. He says they will probably both get killed, and she asks why. Since she saved his life, Six explains Four gave him an encrypted drive, which he sent to Margaret who lives in Prague, and Melinda immediately heads home to Margaret. Meanwhile, Lloyd's IT guy has found footage of Six in Bangkok sending a package to someone in Prague. Lloyd goes up, brings Claire out, and starts torturing Fitzroy to find out who lives in Prague, but Fitzroy is tough and doesn't say. Only as Lloyd threatens to bring Claire in again he reveals it. Next, Melinda and Six arrive at Margaret's home. She has managed to decrypt the drive, and it shows how Denny has used the CIA as his personal hit squad, doing unsanctioned assassinations and bombings with no regard for collateral damage. Margaret hands Six a key to a bulletproof car she owns. When suddenly the apartment is bombarded with bullets, Six accidentally drops the key, which Melinda picks up. Suddenly, a grenade is thrown through the window, and Melinda runs. After the explosion, Margaret shows him a hidden way out, but stays back herself to delay the attackers. As mercenaries enter the apartment, Margaret has filled it with gas and blows them all up. Six is chased by police when running from the building, and is unfortunately hit by a car. He gets arrested, and handcuffed to a bench. Lloyd orders to send in every team they have, giving permission to shoot anyone standing in the way. Trucks arrive, which Six sees, and to disperse the crowd, he grabs a gun from a cop and shoots in the air. Lloyd's men attack, and Six manages to hide behind the bench. They start killing cops, and Suzanne is shocked. SWAT teams arrive, and a full-scale war breaks out on the street. Six sees a gun under the bench and tries to reach it, and manages to grab it, but empties his magazine to kill a mercenary. Six then starts pulling a dead cop closer. Since no one manages to shoot Six, Lloyd offers an extra $10 million to the one who kills him. Six grabs a new magazine, reloads, shoots at an oncoming van, and then shoots himself loose and runs. They lose sight of him, but suddenly see the tram starts moving. Six starts shooting them, and some mercenaries board the vehicle. A chase ensues, and soon after Melinda appears. Six tries to defend himself against all the men trying to get him on the tram, as well as take out those who follow in cars. Six gets up on the exterior as suddenly they shoot grenades at the tram. They try to shoot again as Six, but Melinda rams her car into the van, causing the tram to derail. Six starts running, and Melinda reverses the car to catch him, and they somehow make it alive. Before getting into the car, Six takes a look at the destruction. Lloyd is trying to contact any one of his guys potentially alive, but no one responds, and Suzanne comments this is the biggest failure in any asset retrieval ever performed. Suddenly, a man called Lone Wolf replies he is tracking the target. Next, Six and Melinda arrive at a hospital and track Claire's pacemaker in Croatia from an internal computer. As they are about to leave, Lone Wolf appears, stabbing Six in the hand, and they begin to fight. Lone Wolf manages to take the drive, and then stabs Six in the stomach. He then jumps out the window onto the roof, and gets to the ground. Lone Wolf is immediately stopped by police, but attacks them, and makes an escape. Six and Melinda leave the hospital in a car. Next, the two have broken into a veterinary clinic, and while Six tries to patch up his stab wound, Melinda asks why he went to prison, trying to decide whether to help him or not. Having no choice, Six begins explaining his father fancied himself a real macho man, and was determined to turn him and his brother into the same. His methods however were extreme, and as his father at one point focused hard on his brother, it became clear it was either gonna be his brother or his father who would die, and so Six decided it would be his father. Everyone thought he should be in jail, until Fitzroy found him. Sometime later, a car is seen arriving at Lloyd's castle, and it's Lone Wolf. He enters and hands Lloyd the drive. Simultaneously, at the edge of the property, Six and Melinda trick some guards, take them out, and steal the weapons. Inside, Suzanne is upset, telling Lloyd he can't kill the girl. Lone Wolf overhears and asks if he's seriously gonna kill a girl, and Lloyd threatens him not to interfere. Suddenly, the power goes down, and immediately after, Melinda takes down a helicopter. She then runs across the castle grounds and shoots at mercenaries. As they hear gunshots in the corridor, Fitzroy tells Claire to hide behind the bed. They hear someone approaching, and to their relief, Six enters the room. He hands Fitzroy a gun, after which they hear some men in the corridor. Six shoots through the wall and hits 3 men with 3 bullets. Outside, Lloyd just realizes Melinda is distracting them so Six can rescue the prisoners. As he gets to where they were held, they are all gone, and he gets angry at the dead guards. Suzanne is watching a monitor, and suddenly she sees Melinda outside shooting a RPG at them. Six and the others have climbed up on the roof as they are suddenly shot at by Lloyd and some men. Fitzroy gets shot, and so he tells Six to get clear out of there while he stays to delay the attackers. Six hands him a grenade, and Fitzroy tells Claire he loves her, after which Six drags her to the ledge, and the two jump into the water below. Lone Wolf is seen finding the hard drive, just as Melinda enters the devastated room. He makes a surprise attack, after which the two begin fighting each other. Eventually, however, Lone Wolf gets hold of a knife, and when he has every chance to kill her, he instead hands her the drive, saying these are not honorable people, and leaves. As Lloyd walks up to Fitzroy, Fitzroy activates the grenade, and Lloyd quickly hides behind one of his guys. As he wakes up, he runs across the roof and then jumps off the building to follow Six. Claire hides in a boat while Six stakes on some guys that arrive in a car. Lloyd comes running and suddenly attacks him. Claire finds a flare gun and shoots Lloyd with it, which allows Six to fire a shot that hits Lloyd's hand. While Six dodges a dying guard's attempt to shoot him, Lloyd grabs Claire, takes her flare gun, and drags her into a big garden maze. Six follows closely behind them. As Lloyd stops and threatens Six to throw him his gun or he'll burn Claire's face, Six empties the gun and throws it to Lloyd. Lloyd says he meant to throw it with the bullets, and Six replies that everyone knows you don't throw a loaded gun. He lets Claire go, who runs up and hugs him. Six then tells Claire to go. Crying, she begs him to come too, but then he tells her that it's just another Thursday. She is comforted, and as she leaves, she tells Six to crush Lloyd. The two go up to each other, and they begin fighting. Lloyd pauses to empty his shoe from stones, after which they continue fighting. Lloyd's hand hurts when hitting Six since he was shot in the hand. The two then continue fighting again, but as Lloyd is pushed into the water, his burn wounds on his back stings. Now they fight again, and Six kicks his head against a pot, and Lloyd's head hurts. This time however, Lloyd picks up a knife, and as they continue fighting, Six is being slashed and stabbed, increasingly more intense. Finally, Six manages to get Lloyd to drop it, and as they continue fighting, Six locks him in a grip that he can't escape from. From nowhere, a gunshot is heard, and Lloyd is hit in the heart. Suzanne appears with a gun, and Lloyd dies due to blood loss. She then shoots Six in the leg, telling him she just wants him compliant. Suzanne shares that she thinks Lloyd is a toxic lunatic, and says that Lloyd will take the blame for everything. However, to make that happen, she needs Six as a witness, and threatens him, saying that if he wants Claire to live, he will do what she asks of him. Lloyd raises his hand, asking if the plan involves him living, and she replies it does, but that he will end up back in jail. Afterwards, Claire sees Six being carried on a stretcher, and he makes a sign to her, making her happy. Suzanne is seen with the encrypted drive, and later Denny is seen destroying it. 2 weeks later, Six wakes up handcuffed somewhere. Simultaneously, Suzanne, Denny and Melinda are being exonerated in the events that happen by their superior. Afterwards, when everyone has left, Melinda tells Denny that if anything ever happens to Claire, she will come for him. Next, Denny is seen asking where Claire is, and Suzanne answers that she's in a guarded house in Virginia. He continues by asking where Six is kept, and she replies he's in the basement at the most secure floor in the building. Denny says she should have killed him, but she says they might be able to use him. In the elevator, a military police explains Six has been unresponsive for the last few days, just lays there, and doesn't detour even look at them. The elevator door opens, and they react. Suzanne swears as they enter the floor and see that Six is gone. Claire is seen in the house in Virginia, when she suddenly sees her window has been opened. She discovers a music disc and a note telling her to play it loud. She does it, and while the music plays, guards suddenly start yelling and gunshots are heard outside. Shortly after, Six opens her door and enters the room. She gets overjoyed and runs up to hug him. In the last scene, the two take a car and leave the mansion together. That was all of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Click the like button and subscribe to watch more videos like this, and don't forget to turn on notifications. Thanks for watching.